One-on-one with Stephon Diggs and Aaron Donald. Don't miss that. And Sunday at noon Eastern, All Access with Patrick Mahomes. Plus Randy Moss catches up with Tom Brady. Kick your weekend with Countdown Off on ESPN Saturday at 10 a.m. and Sunday at noon. Let's get back to our developing story of the day. You see Urban Meyer arriving in Jacksonville. These photos show him getting off the plane there in Jacksonville. Very close to a deal with the Jaguars. Adam Schefter, what do we know?
There is no deal in place yet, Laura. There is no press conference scheduled yet, but both sides are in advanced talks here to try to see if they could get this deal finalized and make Urban Meyer the next head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. At this point in time, again, it is tracking that way. And I think both sides are hopeful and optimistic it will get done. It is not yet done. Urban Meyer landed today in Jacksonville to meet yet again with the Jaguars owner, Shad Khan. He met with him yesterday as well. He met with him Sunday or Saturday on the boat in Florida. So there's been a lot of interaction, a lot of meetings, a lot of planning. And right now it's just a question of whether these two sides can get this worked out on the same page and move ahead into the future.
Boats, planes, automobiles, they're doing it all to get Urban Meyer there in Jacksonville. All right,
money.
Of course, we will keep our eye on that. But what else is going on in the coaching search world, Adam?
Well, we're waiting to see who the general manager for Urban Meyer would be in Jacksonville if and when he does get that job. And a couple of names that have come up in connection to that job: Trent Baalke, the former 49ers GM, Ray Farmer, the former Browns GM. They would be in consideration as the rest of the general manager hires, and that picture begins to come into focus right now. We have Brad Holmes, the former Rams executive, being hired in Detroit as the Lions' new general manager. They've made a move with him. They've secured his services. He was somebody that they identified and moved forward with going forward. Carolina is down to its final four candidates. It looks like Scott Fitterer has emerged as the favorite to get that job. They have not yet worked out a contract. They're hoping to still do that. In Atlanta, Terry Fontenot is the favorite to get that job. It looks like he's on track to become the next general manager of the Atlanta Falcons, though the Falcons can't offer him the job, being that his team is still involved in the playoffs. The Saints would have to sign off on that, which they haven't done to date. But Terry Fontenot is in line to become the Falcons general manager when these two sides can formalize that going forward. And, of course, Washington is still out there. They've spoken to Martin Mayhew. They've spoken to Marty Herney. We'll see what direction the Washington football team decides to go, Laura.
All right, Adam with us for the rest of the show. Keep it locked right here for the latest news. And back to the games for this weekend. A huge one for the Bucs.
The New England Patriots have cut Antonio Brown.
Decided to play with one of the greatest quarterbacks all time at TB12 and hopefully help be the reason we win.
Brady, a 7-step drop. Got a receiver open. It's Antonio Brown. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
AB and TB again in Tampa.
Brady goes downfield. Antonio Brown. What a catch.
There is one player who you think is key to Tampa and Tom Brady's chances of winning the Super Bowl, and that player is
Antonio Brown.
All right, Dan, you said this on Get Up earlier in the week. Explain yourself. Why is Antonio Brown the most important player in this matchup?
All right, so no one in the NFL, certainly left in the playoffs, plays more man coverage than the New Orleans Saints. No one does it better than New Orleans either. Now, if you look at Mike Evans, well, Marshawn Lattimore for a stretch of games now has really gotten the better of him. Look at these numbers. I want everyone to really zone in on these.
Wow.
Over the last 3 games, Mike Evans versus Marshawn is 72 routes when they line up against each other. They've thrown the ball 6 times to him. He has 0 catches. I mean, that is a shutout. I mean, he's getting shut down, so I'm not going, all right, Mike, this is going to be your breakout game. Marshawn's having a great season. And then I look at Janoris Jenkins and Chris Godwin, and listen, that's probably a toss-up of who's going to win that matchup. Well, then who's the best guy to win in man coverage? Key, you know this. There's 2 ways to really win in man coverage. You either whoop the guy across from you, or coaches with scheme, stacks and rubs and meshes and picks, they help you. Well, Tampa doesn't do that. And so AB is going to have to line up on a play-by-play basis against the best man coverage secondary in the NFL and win. There's no way Tampa wins this game if he doesn't. The last time AB was playing football, like consistent football 2 years ago, and he saw this secondary, he put 14 on their head for $185 and 2 tutties. And I think for Tampa to win this game, he's going to have a similar type of performance. He's done it. And so I'm excited to see if that signing that took us by surprise 2-3 months ago pays off.
In order for AB to do what you saw him do in 2018, It starts with the quarterback.
Okay.
But the quarterback needs the offensive line to protect him so he can get the football to AB. Yeah, and so when you look at it, I know that's the easy one to point to. Yes, Tom Brady has to have a good game. That's true, though. AB can't get the ball himself. He can't throw it to himself. Only person I ever seen do that was Bugs Bunny. He's the only one I've seen throw the ball
Worked out well
to himself.
for him.
So, that's it. And when you think about it, AB wants to show the world. He wants to shock the NFL and say that I'm back.
Yeah, Marcus, when they signed AB, I remember even on this show, we were saying they've already got all these offensive weapons. Maybe this is too much. Maybe they're adding too much more. What do you think is the key in this game?
I think they figured it out with AB. This offense is obviously totally different from the first couple meetings with the New Orleans Saints. But I go back to where key was, the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Tom Brady has thrown, in the 2 meetings between Tampa and New Orleans, Tom Brady has thrown 5 interceptions to 2 touchdowns total. All right, the last 38-3 loss, he threw 3 picks, 0 touchdowns. Opposite side, Drew Brees threw 4 touchdowns, 0 picks. We all know what this is about. This is about Tom Brady's rapport with his wide receivers, which has gotten better. It's about his offensive line protecting. We had questions about them against the Washington football team. They did a good job outside of Deron Payne getting 2 sacks in that game. That was really the only pressure that they were able to generate. And we were going crazy about how bad that matchup was for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line. The run game as well. Leonard Fournette has become more involved. Hopefully Ronald Jones can be more involved. When you look at the games and the way they were played, the first game, the score wasn't indicative of how close it was.
Right.
It was the turnovers. That was the difference. The second game, it was turnovers, period. 3. They had 3 sacks. I think they had like 12 or 13 pressures in that game from the Saints defensive line. That's what it's going to boil down to. And we can have confidence in Tampa Bay because over the last month, they've shown us that they figured a lot of things out offensively. I just can't wait to watch it, y'all. It's going to come down to these 40-year-old quarterbacks and which one plays the best.
You just hit on it, and that's the point I want to make. When we talk about the game 6 or 7 weeks ago when they played Week 9, they ran play-action pass with 7-man or 6-man protection 1 time in that game. It was the first play of the game. They do it 14 times a game over the last 6 weeks. So that's why I feel better about this offensive line playing against this really good D-line. They're going to have a 6 or 7 person in their protection. And that's why I will say I think they'll protect them. Those guys on the outside.